this right here. And hello, Amy from New Orleans. It's good to see you. Josephine from Austin, Texas. Hello there. Homestead Aussie. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. I've wondered about you. I've sent you several emails. I say several, 2 or 3 emails. I don't know what's going on with them. There's a lot of strange things happening with Google. There just is. But it's so good to see you guys. We love you all very much. We sure do. Praying for you guys over there. Keep us informed as to what's going on in your area of Australia also. And hello, Paulette and Julie. It's good to see you. Why me? Good to see you. Let's see. Why me says leading Israeli health official vaccinated account for 95% of severe and 85 to 90%. Well, that's happening in a lot of places. Why me? It's not just Israel, and there's a lot of people denying that. But now, buddy, facts are just facts. People are reporting it. They're seeing it with their own eyes. So, thank you for that information. It may be why me. It may be much more injury, much more shot injury. Yes, I have to be kind of careful what I say so I don't get a strike or demonetized. Hello, Pat from Cork, Ireland. It's good to see you. And Kat from North Carolina. Good to see you. Kathy, hello. How are you this evening? And Mary, thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. Thank you for being part of our channel, buddy. We appreciate every one of you. Yes, buddy. Yes, why me? Israel is one that has been jabbed the most. Yeah. Paulette wants that rooster in the background. And hello, cat lady. It's good to see you. France and Italy heading for civil war. You know, there's a possibility of that. There has been a lot of uproar in those 2 countries, and we're going to mention that a little bit this evening. Not going to go into great detail about what's going on over there, other than the fact that that was part of the title in tonight's or this evening's live video feed. There is so much that's just been happening that it's just it's hard to keep up with it all. And hello, preacher man. It's good to see you. Preach the gospel, buddy. Hammer down on the gospel. This is the time that we have been called for, buddy. Yes, sir. Hello, Cat. We are living in the end of the end days, I believe, truly, with all my heart. And we are a called out generation, buddy. We have been put here for this purpose. Yeah. Cat lady says, get all the coffee that you can. Nowhere in any town near me has coffee. Get it now. Well, ours was on sale a couple of weeks ago when we picked up, I don't know, 5, whatever they would let us have, 5 cans of it. So we should be in fair condition for a while. I hope so. Luann says hello from Kentucky. So hi, Luann, our fellow Kentuckian. It's good to see you. Carnival cruise ship with 100%, both crew and customers. Now has a breakout. Yeah, we're going to see a lot more of that. A lot more of that. That's why they're pushing this second and this third. You know, everybody that wants this thing has already got it. I guarantee you, everybody that wants a jab in their arm has already got it. So, for everybody that's got it, that's fine. It don't bother me a bit that you've got it if you've taken it. But leave me alone. You know, we still live in America, guys. If I don't want to take it, I shouldn't have to. Cat Lady, Coffee, Luann from Kentucky, Carnival Cruise, Pat, hello, Pat. End times, but not end of the world. That's true, Pat. A new era. Missed you all. Buddy, we missed you too, cat lady. Hello, mornings with Granny. Good to see you. Homestead. Yes. You know, Homestead, I think a lot of people don't realize that. People that are true, well, maybe more do than I realize. People that are true followers of Christ, this is a generation that's been raised up to really preach the truth, the gospel of Jesus, who He is and who God is, who God the Father is, and but it's set on our shoulders, you know, to do that, and buddy, it's just a wonderful thing that we've been set aside for that. I think so. So yeah, I think that's a great thing. Kathy's been stocking coffee, but we all need to be stocking something, you know. Kat said I'm in ENC. Is that ENC? ENC, Eastern North Carolina? I'm not sure, Kat. You'll have to, I'm not real sure.
Well, she's telling Kat.
Well, add freeze-dried coffee to a hot chocolate for a lime mocha. A lime mocha. All right, I heard that. Well, you know, Biden made the comment, I don't know if it's today or yesterday, he said that there is no amendment to the Constitution that should be absolute. Absolute. I'm sorry. He said there is no amendment to the Constitution that is absolute. So that's the route he's going with the Constitution, to take it down piece by piece by piece by piece as he so sees fit. I think that that's where we're heading, guys. I really do. When I see France and Italy, we look at Israel. We look around and see, you know, our friends over in Australia, and we see all these lockdowns that's taking place, and all these mandates that's being set in place, and then we look and hear what's being said by the Oval Office and the White House. It makes me think that we've got, and thank you, Lose Your Life. We really appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. And we do stand firm in the faith. But listen, it doesn't matter what comes and what goes. We stand firm in who and what goes. We stand firm in who God is. It's just that it's not you know, people make this difficult sometimes, but it's not difficult. Our circumstances and our surroundings, what happens to us, doesn't change who God is. It just changes our circumstances and where we're at. But at any rate, with what people are saying in the White House, I'm thinking we're going to see lockdowns in the fall. I sure do. We are seeing several states right now here in the United States that the governors have said that the school districts have no say in it, that the health departments have no say in it, that they have declared mandates that children are going to be wearing masks in school regardless. And then they went from saying that it was the elderly that was most susceptible, and now they're saying the children are most susceptible. So they, you know, here again, we're doing just like this. We're just flip-flopping back and forth to meet whatever agenda that we want to push out there. And that's all it is. And it doesn't matter to me if it's the left or the right or the middle. They all do it. Everyone do it. I think Nescafe comes freeze-dried. Well, you know, it could do it. I don't know that. And hello, Robbie Jean Miller. It's good to see you. Eastern North Carolina. Thank you, Kat. We appreciate that. I was talking, didn't see that come in. Pat, I think you may be right. You said, I know this is terrible, but I think some of the jib jabs people are getting are actually the virus itself. And, you know, I've wondered about that. And Sandy and I have studied about these tests that people are taking where they jab that thing all the way back up to your brain. We know people that didn't get sick until after they took those tests. Now, they were fine before they took the test. And then they went and had that stuff stuck back into their head. And
that it's an all of them. But
Not all of them, but we know people that have gotten sick after they've done that. So, we wonder about that too. Is some of this stuff possibly, does some of this stuff have something on it and some doesn't? We don't know. We don't know. All we can do is look at people and see what's going on with them. They're healthy one day, they go get that stick stuck up into the brain, and 2 days later they're sick to death. So who's to say? Anyway, I don't think it's good to have something like that stuck up in your head regardless. Okay, let's see. Lose your life. Lockdowns are coming. Stock goods and knowledge. Amen. Stock up on cat food. Can hardly, we went here for about a month, Kathy, that we had a hard time finding cat food. And here recently, when we go to the grocery, if we find cat food that our cats eat, we buy a flat of it if we can find a flat of it. Whether it's, if you own a pet, that's your choice. You have chosen to own that pet. It didn't choose for you to own it. So now we're very vocal about how we feel about our pets. If you own an animal, if you own a pet, then take care of your pet. They didn't choose you. You chose to own them. So it's your responsibility to take care of them and make sure that they've got food too. Okay? So do the best you can with that. I understand you've got to take care of your family first. They have to come first. But if by all means, if you can take care of that pet, take care of that pet. Let's see. Homestead Aussie, yes, you will have harsher lockdowns in the fall. They have been talking more arrogantly to you the last months because they know they're planning for fall. Yes, I agree with you, Homestead Aussie. They don't hide a whole lot anymore. They just kind of speak their mind and say what they think. That's like Biden talking here the last couple of days that no amendment to the Constitution is absolute. Well, what kind of foolish talk is that? What goes to the First and Second Amendment if that's the case? Huh?
Where'd I go on this? On the email.
On
the postcard.
I think it's under Charles L. I think. But yeah, they've been working on the Constitution for years. And here's the thing about it, guys. let's get real. Let's get real about this thing and just talk real about it. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck or mean or anything like that. I'm just trying to be real in my belief and my understanding of Scripture, and where I stand and where my wife Sandy stands in the scope of this big thing of politics and Republicans and Democrats and pledge allegiance to America and pledge allegiance to Australia and pledge allegiance to France or whatever it may be. I pledge my allegiance to God first. Now that's just it. No disrespect to the military. I had a father and several uncles, brother-in-laws that served in the military. I had an uncle that spent 18 months in a POW camp in World War II. I had a brother-in-law that took shrapnel in Vietnam. My family has a lot of history with military, and I thank them for that. I really do. I'm very grateful that they were willing to go off and fight for what they considered the freedom of the United States of America and their children and grandchildren, and what all of those people have fought for, or what they were told that they were fighting for, is right now, every bit of it is at stake, and we're in jeopardy of losing it all. Everything that they sacrificed right now is getting ready to be flushed down the toilet if things don't change. So all their efforts, all the people that died in the military in wars, was for nothing if this happens, except for the last few decades that their children have lived, because their grandchildren are going to inherit a mess right here very shortly. Let's see. This thing with politics, I don't cater to either side. I think both sides are as wicked and as evil as anything that's ever lived. I personally think that both sides of the aisle are just two heads on the same body of a single snake. I think they're both children of the Antichrist for the most part. That they are, both sides are just as evil as they can be, and I'm going to tell you why. And if you'll just think about this just for a second, you'll understand why I'm saying this. How many times over the years has the Republican Party had the House and the Senate and the White House, and they did nothing, absolutely nothing to change things? They had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to change so many of these laws, just like that Patriot Act. They could have changed that. They've had an opportunity to do that, but they did nothing to keep the government from spying on citizens like us. They did nothing to change that. No, because they want that. The politicians want that. That gives them power over you. And it doesn't matter if it's an R or a D behind their name. They want power over you. And they're going to control you if they possibly can. And for all these years, they have pitted the American people against each other as a Democrat or a Republican, and caused them, many of them, listen, I don't hate you. I don't care what you, Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care. That's your business. I'm not going to hate you. But there's a lot of people out there that hate Republicans, or they hate Democrats, or they hate independents. And the politicians have done this to the people. They've taught people to hate each other over their political stance. And now they're doing that with this shot. Now they're doing that with the shot. You folks that have got your shot, you're A-okay to go. You're good folk to participate in the economy. You can participate in the city. You can participate in everything coming and going, because that shot's going to take care of it all. Oh, but we forgot to tell you, you're still going to have to wear a mask. See? Oh, and we forgot to tell you, you're going to have to take a second one. Oh, and we forgot to tell you that you're going to have to get a booster. Well, how many boosters are you going to have to take? See? Are you going to have to take a booster every year?
Oh, we forgot to tell you that you can still get.
Yeah, and we forgot to tell you, because back in the spring, we was told by the president and many other people that when they said, you get that jab, buddy, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about this thing. Oh, but we forgot to tell you that we lied to you, because if you get the jab twice and you booster and you wear your mask, you could still catch this. You know, none of this stuff makes any sense, people. None of it. And we don't hear anybody on the Republican side doing anything about it. Not really. Oh, we hear a few governors saying something every now and then and spouting off something about Biden or one of the other Democrats or something, but you don't see anybody doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. This place is going to change. I'm telling you, this whole country right here is going to change. All of our neighbors from Australia and France and Italy, they're already feeling it. And man, I pray for you guys. I pray the Lord bless and keep you in His care. And I'm going to tell you right now, those of you who know Jesus Christ, those of you who are true followers of Christ, He will keep you in His graces. You can bet on that, guys. Thank God for that. Let's see where we're at here. 99% survival rate, elderly 97%. Survival rate, the new jabs have killed more people than all other jabs in the last 20 years, including those pulled for killing too many. Yes, that's true. They're assuming right now, because everything isn't reported. There's just a percentage of this stuff reported. They are the experts are predicting that if everything was reported right now, they would be over how many?
That one guy said over 500,000.
500,000 of these right here in the United States have killed people. So you go do the math. And just here a couple of weeks ago,
turned in is like 45,000.
Yeah, they've been 45,000 turned in, and there's usually only about 2% or 1%. It's a very low number that's even turned in. But one of our friends went to a local, I think I did this talked about this on one of our uploads we did. But one of our friends went to a local hospital here a couple of weeks ago, and they came back and they said that the hospital was filling up with people with COVID. And she said, but the thing about it is, the vast majority of them have had the jab. And she said, that scares me, because they've had the jab too, see. So what does that tell you when the vast majority of people that's filling up the hospitals have had the jab? Guys, it's not, I tell you, these things are serious. These things are very serious things. They deal with life and death situations. They deal with permanent disabilities. So, you know, we need to be careful when we deal with this stuff. Yeah, we sure do. Okay. Luann, I agree with you on that. About the delayed release. The new Instacart CEO was the head of Facebook app. She's already primed to limit the silence people with wrong think. Now she's in position food to be delivered for wrong think. That's possible. Yep, very possible. Homestead Aussie, spot on. We should know idols before us, God first, and be watchmen for the rest. Amen, amen. Homestead, what a wonderful statement. Yes, that's one of the biggest issues I have with the modern day churches, is that they have learned to find their comfort within the building rather than within the Savior. And guys, there's a huge difference in that. I'm just telling you, it's a good thing to have comfort around other people and gather and worship together and all that. But that's, you know, your comfort has to be in Him. I mean, that's where your rest has to be. And a lot of people have not been taught that. They've been taught that it's the church houses where the rest is at. And I feel sorry for lots and lots of people, because the statement that Jesus made, guys, is just very true. It's just very true. He said, straight is the way, and narrow is the great gate, and there will be very few that enter it. Very few. Yeah. People have been deceived for so many years. Let's see. Yes, Australia has been crucified with lockdowns. Prepare yourself and help your fellow men when you can. I agree with that, preacher man. We most certainly need to help others when we can. Hello, Happy Mac. It's good to see you. Hello, Gina. Have I missed anybody here? Let's see. JK Company. If I didn't say hello, hi to you. Politicians and MSM. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They are. They're just hand in hand. Let's see. JK Company says a previous PFIZER, I'm not going to say the name, employee was just interviewed saying the jib jab is a pathogen and reactive to electricity somehow. Well, if that's the case, then that's what that was. A gnat tried to get me right in the face. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, when the number 5 is turned up, that'll make the difference. If that's the case. Man, yes, those tires are all tied in with this. I think so too, and they're putting more and more up. They're constantly putting them up. They are, Pat. You know, and I heard somebody say something today or yesterday. I don't remember what it was or when it was, but now what a lot of people don't understand this, but this is not just a battle of minds or a battle of the flesh. This is a spiritual battle going on in a heavenly realm that people don't grasp and understand. And the enemy of the followers of Christ is not just content with killing you. They want you to suffer. See, they want to punish you. That's what they want. That's what brings them gratification, is to punish people and to make people suffer. So watch for that. Let's see. But anyway, you know, Homestead, obviously, did you guys, I saw your video, Homestead, where you and Wayne, Lynn, you and Wayne were out in the brush camping. You bought a new camper, and obviously you guys are back. So are things any better there, or are they the same as it was a couple of weeks ago when all this started? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Just, you don't have to go into detail and anything, just kind of curious, better, worse, same, or, you know, what's going on a little bit there. Or you could email me and send me an email on it if you felt like you wouldn't be flagged in it or something. Yes, guys, if you don't care, we've got 64 people on. Hit the like button. We appreciate that if you would, most definitely. If you can share us on your social media, we'd appreciate that. Someone asked me if I had plans for the fall. It took me a while to realize they meant autumn, not civilization. Well, us preppers, we think in terms of survival, we anymore with everything that's going on. I understand what you're saying. Why me? Sandy and I might have done the same thing. Might have took us a few minutes to figure out that it was autumn I was talking about instead of surviving. Yeah. Cat lady said her sons had the jab, both of them, and now sick with the new virus. Lots of people have done that, cat lady. Yeah. Hello, Tammy. It's good to see you. And Bonnie. Hello, Miss Bonnie. Say hi to Bob if he's not watching. Good to see you.
We've had family that's had it. As far as I know, they've not been sick.
Yeah. Morning with Granny. Fox News said the other night that 3/4 of the people in the hospitals that was sick with the virus had the jab. Yep. I heard somebody say that yesterday.
A lot, though.
I have friends, one with the jab, one without it. Both got cocoa, and one with the jab passed away. The one without it is fine now. Yep. That don't surprise me a bit. None of this stuff surprises me, folks, what's going on in the country right now. There's a lot of evil people out there, buddy. I just tell you, there is so much evil in this and involved in this, and it runs so deep. It would be hard for our minds to comprehend it all if it was every bit just revealed to us, everybody and everything that was involved in it. When you have hospitals, and well, let me give you an example right here because this is federal. I was listening to a fellow the other evening, and he said all the federal marshals now have been told that they were going to get the jab. They had to have it, or they were going to have to pay for their own test every week. And he said it cost us $150 a week, $600 a month. And he said that's just the way life is. I'll just be paying the $600 a month. So everybody that they can mandate in federal is going to have to do this. It's going to follow up in the hospitals. It's already started in many of the major hospitals are already there. They have already mandated this for their employees. Hospitals, any kind of care facility that takes in patients, they're mandating it in all those places. And here's the thing about it. They started out with this thing 2 weeks to slow the curve, flatten the curve. And then it went from that to wearing the face coverings, and then it went from that the face coverings wasn't working, and then it was they was working, and then you need to wear two, and then they finally got this what was that called where Trump ramped that up to get the vaccine in? What's that called?
Warp speed.
Warp speed. We got warp speed going. And don't let nobody forget, because it was his words, don't let nobody forget that Trump brought that in. He's the one that said it. I done it. Don't let nobody forget that I did it. So that's what I'm saying. None of these politicians, I don't follow any of these politicians. We follow the Lord Jesus Christ, but that's it. So
You used to until this happened.
we did. Now listen, I voted for Trump the first time. Absolutely. I thought, buddy, we need somebody in there. It's not a politician, but we got a politician anyway. I just didn't know it. Oh well. Anyway, let's get off the politicians and that part of it. But they just changed everything. Every 2 or 3 weeks, they changed positions on everything and what they was doing, and what it would do, and what it wouldn't do, and what it could do, and what it couldn't do, And now they've just ramped all this stuff up now to their agenda to get everybody in a position that they know everybody that wants it's already took it. They know that. And just like de Blasio last week when he was on his up on his stump up there on giving his mandates and handing them all out, he made it very plain that if you hadn't had at least one jab, that you were not welcome to participate in all the wonderful things that New York City has to offer. That all the inside venues were going to be closed off to you, and you were not going to be welcome. So let's just do a separation again. Let's do another pitting people against each other again if we can. Let's pit those who have had the jab against those who haven't. That's all he's doing, and that's all many of these other people are doing. Because now, you know what? It's those that haven't had the jab that's the problem. They're causing all this stuff. That's what the politicians are saying. That's what the MSN is saying. It's all our fault. So now you need to hate those people that haven't had the jab if you've had yours. See, they're nothing but just devils. That's all I can say. They're just devils. They're the children of their father. Yep, their father, just like Jesus told the Pharisees, their father is the devil. Period. Let's see. Hello, Glenn Anderson. It's good to see you. Hello, Carol. It's good to see you. Leslie, good to see you from Memphis. And Glenn, we're glad you got here for our live chat this time. Bug Out Basics, good to see you. We have been in a spiritual battle since the Garden of Eden. That's true. It's a lot worse, Charles. Police State Civilian Division. Boy, it's bad. Martial law. This is in our rural area just as much. Oh gosh, I so hate to see that because it's coming. Listen, it's coming to a town near you. This is coming to a city near you. This is coming to your countries, to our country. It just is. Guys, this is a spiritual battle that's coming. It's been prophesied for years and years and years, and it's going to take place. And it's just going to be what it's going to be. It's just going to be what it's going to be. You need to be prepping. Yeah, you need to prep your soul first. You need to know Jesus, and then you need to prep your pantry. Guys and girls, you need to have those pantries prepped. Yes. And we do pray for you regular, Homestead. We think of you all the time, and all of our friends over there. And good evening, Jesus Life. It's good to see you. And hello right back to Bob. We appreciate you, Bob. Thank you. We appreciate you and Bonnie. We know you're hard-working folks, buddy. Yes, put stuff up every day that you possibly can. I agree, Luann. You need to get rid of any of these Alexas and all this stuff that you can talk to and it does stuff for you. You need to get rid of that stuff. If you've got video cameras that's tied into your computer, I would recommend that you close them if they're closable. If they're not closable and the little camera's in the top of your computer, tape your piece of paper over. All this stuff, all these things can be used, all of them. Probably even our TVs, these electronics, buddy, with the way stuff is today, who knows what all they're capable of. They can monitor your phones. They know where you're at. If you've got a phone, they know where you're at any time of the day or night. They can trace you and follow you. Now they put these apps on there that they tell you to remove this app and they can't trace you, but I don't believe that, not for 1 minute. I just don't believe that. I take the apps off, but I feel like it's just about useless. Yes, people in the military are going to be put in that position morning with Granny. here. I don't think anybody down here in Mississippi will abide. It's a mess. More variants now. A weed that's making. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Tammy. We have a lot of people right here where we live that just don't. They don't go along with this foolishness. But then there's been a lot of people that I never thought would, that just marched right in line. So, you know, I don't know. Evil is summoning at a rapid rate. Oh, it's in hyper gear, buddy. Divide and conquer. You're right, Donna. That's the key. It always has been. And you know, they didn't want to just divide people on a continent or in a country. They want to divide countries against each other, and they've managed to do that. They have managed to divide countries against each other too. And hello, Plain Prepper. Good to see you too, sir. That's true, Bonnie. When we're fighting each other, we've got our eyes off of them, buddy. We've got our eyes off the enemy. Yeah, see, that's the thing about it. Homestead House in, and I know you know this, but when people start protesting, a lot of times they allow them to go ahead and protest and be done with their protest. And then when they're done, they just go ahead and do whatever the agenda was anyway. And then at other times, they punish them for protesting. And we've seen that in France. They have no, they just have no heart, buddy. They're going to beat the people down. They just are. Mark Slade, started my prepping journey a little late. Now I'm worried I may not have time to get fully stocked. I would do everything I possibly could. I would, every time I made a trip to the store, I would prep something. I would sell things off that I don't need. I've said this before, and I mean this, and I'm not going to back up on it. If you have a four-wheeler and it's a toy, then sell it and buy food with it. If you have a boat and it's a toy, sell it and buy food with it. If you have anything that's a toy that you don't need, then you can't eat those things, guys and girls. When the stuff comes down and the rubber meets the road, you'll be wishing you had food instead of those toys. Now, I'm just telling you. And when you get out and start trying to find food and people turn you away from their door, they're not going to take you toys in exchange for food. Nobody will want a four-wheeler when they can't get gas for it anyway. So nobody will want a boat when they can't go to the lake. If you've got this kind of stuff that you don't need, if you've got toys and collectibles, things that are not of any benefit to you, Sandy and I quit collecting anything. We got rid of our stuff. This stuff, but it's what it is. It's just stuff. So if you can get rid of this stuff and live without it, you most certainly need to. Happy Mac, thank you for the super chat that Paulette made you do. I thank you anyway. And Paulette, I thank you for your super chat, and I thank you for making Happy Mac give one. So thank you, lady. We appreciate it very much. Oh gosh, but I do. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. But yeah, just Mark, do the best you can, buddy. Just keep on prepping. Just keep on keeping on. 20 cities protested, but they came in harder on them from Homestead Aussie, and they did that in France. Yes, always use cash to pay with if you possibly can. Don't use the cards. They know everything you buy. They know how much food you bought. They know how much everything you bought. SS, good to see you. I didn't see you sneak in here. Let's see. Dixie Girl 999. Good to see you. And let's see here. I missed something on Pat Murphy that, let's see. I missed that. Pat said something and Home said, I obviously said I'd probably explain. I'm sorry I missed that. I got behind in the thread and it's jumped down here and I was lucky to see that.
Did you get Marie Slade said I started my prepping journey a little late?
I did see that, yeah. I agree with that, Brenda. If you're not using them, turn them off. Hello, Jeff. It's good to see you. Says, I don't know how you feel, but I'm ready to punch the time clock. I'm tired of sitting back. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the same boat you are, man. Russia, China, ready to pounce, laughing. We've been made a laughing stock up for a long time. Yeah, guys, don't listen. I did a video a week ago about, I think the title of it is It Too Late for Me to Start Prepping. If you're a new prepper, go back and watch that video. You just need to get after it. You need to, there's a parable in the Bible that Jesus told about. He said that a man had found a pearl in a field of great price, and he went and sold everything he had and came back and bought that field so he could have that pearl. Well, he was talking about finding Jesus, finding God, salvation. And I want to compare that to prepping today. If you're a new prepper, your preps for your physical body is your salvation. And I'm gonna beat this dead horse to death. If you've got stuff you don't need, sell it. Get rid of it. Sell your stuff that you don't need and put stuff in your pantry. Yeah. Go sell everything you've got and put food in your pantry. Things you don't need. Okay? One gentleman speaking intelligently here has had over 30 visits from police. How about that? Just because he speaks his mind and speaks truth, the law has been coming and visiting him. This is what happens when a military takes over a country. You have no rights.
Who said that?
Homestead Aussie. over 30 visits from the police to try to shut him up because he's speaking truth.
Yeah, I started to say that every time you go into Walmart, they've got that camera.
Yeah.
Right there on camera.
Yeah, every time you pay out at Walmart, they know what you bought because they've got those cameras on every cash register now, and that just never seemed to fascinate me that when you're out in public, which we don't film out in public, but we've seen other people who have filmed out in public, and folks get mad at them. Don't film me. Don't put that camera on me. I don't want to be seen on your camera. And then they go to Walmart and Target and Walgreens and everywhere they go, they're filmed on camera. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're seen more in the public when you drive down the road and go to the store and back than you'll ever be filmed on somebody's camera.
Happy Mackin said if you go to smaller stores, you need to, if you can, go to smaller stores.
Yes, anytime you can do a smaller store, I agree with you, Happy. Let's to create a small root cellar would be wonderful out of a small fridge. Why me? I kind of kept my eyes open for a while, hoping to find a refrigerator or freezer that we could do that with, but haven't run across anything. JK Company, almost 80% of women in Lebanon cannot afford sanitary pads due to hyperinflation. When this happens, you can't afford to feed your kids. Guys, she's telling you, listen, JK Company CO is telling you what happens in hyperinflation. That's what happened in Venezuela. This stuff can go from 1 month, stuff that cost you $10 this month can cost you $10,000 next month in hyperinflation. That's just how it is.
Did you mention the roast beef?
What about it?
A lot.
Oh, yeah, we've been to Save a Lot. We went down there, I don't know, it's been a month or so back, and we found some, and this is what happened with this virus. We went down there a month or so back, and we found a flat of roast beef with gravy. Now, we like their roast beef with gravy really well, and we bought a whole flat. There's 12 in it or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. But we had searched in our local Save a Lot for months on end and couldn't get it. They just were not getting it in. So we went back down there today. We were in another town there, and we stopped in that Save a Lot. We said, let's run in here and get us another flat of those or whatever they've got of them, because they're really good and we need to put them back. So we went in and we searched the store over and couldn't find them. And I found the manager and I asked him about it. And he said, no, he said, we can't get that in right now. He said, this virus, he said, has caused the manufacturers to slow down on it and not produce as much of it, not be able to can as much of it. And he said, we're on the list to get it if they ever ship it to us, but apparently we're way down on the list. He said, because we've not had it in a pretty good while. So, we may have bought up the last they had. I don't know. But it's not likely they'll be getting that back in for a long time. He said he didn't know when they would get it back in, if ever. That was his last words to me. I don't know if we'll ever get it back in. So there you go. There's a lot of things going on with this stuff, and the supply chains have been damaged. The food sources have been damaged with all these wildfires, all these droughts. We've got reservoirs out in the west that are being shut down, literally cut off. The hydropower plants out there in those reservoirs are being shut down, some of them, and it's just not a good situation. It's just not a good situation. And guys, if they lock this country down, and we have supply chain breakdown, and we have food shortages, the preppers is the only ones going to make it. Those of you who have put your food back, those of you who have worked diligently and prepared to do this thing are going to be the only ones that make it. Everybody else is going to be running around trying to buy stuff from you. They're going to be trying to, if they know you've got it, they're going to be trying to trade you stuff for your foods. And there'll be those who will try to steal your foods. That's another thing you need to be able to do, is to defend what you do have. You need to be in a position that you can defend yourself and defend your family, because it may come right down to it that you have to do that. And I encourage everyone to do that. Don't hesitate if you have to defend your family, because it could mean your life or the life of your family when it comes to this kind of stuff. When people get hungry and their children get hungry, when people now I'm not talking about you friends and neighbors. I'm talking about mean people. I'm talking about thugs. When they get hungry, there's no limit to what they'll do. No limit whatsoever. So keep that in mind. Okay. Anyway, let me get back here. Appalachian American Homestead, good to see you. Don't know if I said hi earlier or not, but hello there. A lot of grocery stores have the for discount. They know exactly what you're getting. Yeah. Clay pots and ground to keep food cool too. How about that? They bury clay pots in the ground to keep it. You know, that's an excellent ideal, Homestead. Excellent ideal. We disconnected our cable, Brenda, a few years back. We've not had a cable TV here in a long time. We purchased a Roku, and we just watch old movies, stuff like the Andy Griffith Show and things like that when we do decide to watch TV. Amy, what was it? I've missed it. Yes, Glenn, I did a video a while back on is it biblical to prep? You might want to go back and watch that too. That was a pretty good video. Amy said that Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's have it for $1.69. I'm not sure what it was there, but maybe somebody can let me know. Bonnie says Lebanon is in bad shape. The parent just got $7.35 for the kid yesterday in food stamps. How about that? I hope they spend it on food. Yeah, I sure do. Bug Out Basics said there's being recalls on meat. Now our chicken's gone up $1.50 a pound since it started. Yeah. Fans are a huge border on them right now in Lebanon due to only 2 hours of electricity per day. See, that's another thing that folks don't realize about this stuff when this happens like this. When you go into lockdowns and the military takes over, like they did in Venezuela, they'll limit you to how much electricity you can have a day. They'll limit you as to how much money you can get to buy food with. They'll limit you to how much food you can purchase in a month's time. Guys, this is not going to be fun. This is not going to be, this is not just something to write and talk about on YouTube and have a bunch of fun about and laugh about. And you know, this is a real thing. And when the rubber meets the road, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard. And we need to prepare ourselves mentally for that, spiritually for that, and physically. We've got to get this stuff put back and be ready for it. We just do. I'm a big fan of whatever you have in your basement, whatever you have in your garage, whatever you have in your storage buildings. If you're not using it, sell it and buy preps with it. I know I keep saying that. I say that a lot in a lot of my videos. But it's because we as American people have been conditioned to gather up things and have extras, and gather up and have extras, and gather up and have extras of stuff that we don't need, of things that we just enjoy doing, or things that we just like doing. And I know people right now, buddy, that man, they would cut their arms off before they get rid of their boats or four-wheelers or any kind of toys they've got. Well, they're going to suffer when this happens, man. I'm not trading nothing I've got for a four-wheeler. I'm not trading nothing I've got for a boat or anything else for that matter. It's just that simple. This is very serious to me, and it is very important to me that I take care of my family, that my family is taken care of, guys. You've got to take care of yourself and your family. That is very biblical. A man that will not provide for his family is worse than an infidel and has denied the faith. That's what the scripture says. For those of you that are following scripture, you got to take care of this thing. Got to get it ready the best we can. Do everything you can do. Do all you've done, and when you've done all you can do, stand on the truth, and God will provide for you. Aldi this morning, chicken that was normally $1.48. Let me find that. My feed jumped. Last week was now $1.99. Ours had went in like a month. Ours had went from like $2.49 to $3.99 in about like a month's time. So yeah, it's pretty bad. $2.50 on the 15th of the month for kids. $300. New Orleans $2.79 gas. Hello, Cammy. It's good to see you. Yeah, Donna, it's going to crash. I don't have any doubt of that. It's a matter of time. It's just when they decide to do it. And put a clay pot inside a larger clay pot. Fill the space between them with sand, and then keep your sand moist. The evaporation keeps the food in the inner pot cool. How about that? 90. I got 100 watching and 74 likes. Thank you, Paulette, for reminding me. Hit that, slam that like button. YouTube likes it when you slam that like button. Yeah. While me's waiting on the wood stove. All right. Well, I'll be glad when it gets there. Bosnia. Google Silver Doctor of Bosnia. Very interesting article. I bet it is. Yeah, who needs a teddy bear when your stomach's hungry? Coffee and sugar projected to skyrocket in price soon. Yeah. Well, Brazil, with these freezes they've had, it has to affect the coffee. The corn was hit some. They said the orange juice that like 2/3 or something like that of orange juice comes out of Brazil. So that's just crazy, buddy. And they're projecting more cold weather there. So who knows what'll happen? Yes, there's people that will Happy Mac that will be ready. Now's the time to look at winter preps. It most certainly is. $2.99 a pound for chicken wings. Golly. Things that are unaffordable to over 90% of Venezuelans are clothes, shoes, trash bags, paper plates, wipes, canned food, such as tuna, fruit, and soup. Forget small appliances or large ones. We've never seen anything like that in the States, and many other countries have never seen it. And it's not going to be easy, guys. It's just not. When we're prepping, it don't really matter. We need to prep for all times of year when we find it. If we find it and find a good deal on it, a good buy on it, and we can afford it, we need to get it because it may not be there next week. Kathy said they can't find boots. Robbie says she's noticed coffee's already gone up in Tennessee. Let's see. Hit garage sales for all types of preps. The Purring Lady. Hello, Purring Lady. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. We do a lot of yard sales and garage sales, flea markets, and things like that. We like them. Mm-hmm. Now, guys, I see some messages being deleted. If you use foul language, it's not going to go on. It's not going to go on the feed. It's going to be deleted. And if you keep it up, then I'm sorry, but we'll remove you. We don't do foul language. Not on this channel. Sorry, no, I'm not sorry. That's just how it is. We don't do foul language. I'm not sorry for that. That's just how it is. Yes, Happy. Don't worry about price drops in gold and silver. It'll still hold its value. In the end, it may be all it does hold its value. Yes, Brenda, that's a great thing. A silk cotton key. Man, those things are invaluable. They are utility water, utility keys for hose bibs, spigot valves if you need to open water spigots to get water, drinking water, because you're going to have water. It's just that simple. I've preached that and preached that in video after video. You've got to have that water, folks. Food Line, a regular size box of Cheez-Its is almost $5, and the store name brand is $3. And hello, Citrus Prepper, good to see you. Jesus Life Ministry, I had quite a few visits from the law myself, and then I moved. Well, hopefully they won't move with you, Jesus Life. Oh, goodness. Hello, Linda. It's good to see you. We're doing well. Thank you for asking. Yes, wells are better than anything you can have. Springs are real good. Carol got canned cherry sauce and sauerkraut this week. Ooh, I like sauerkraut. I like salsa. I'm not real big on cherries, but I like the other. That's another thing, guys. Buy what you're going to eat, what you like. Don't buy stuff you don't like. Just because it's got calories in it, if you don't like it, don't buy it because you're not going to eat it anyway. Buy something else that you do like that's got calories in it.
Not if you get hungry enough.
Huh?
Not if you get hungry enough.
Yeah, you'll eat it if you get hungry enough. I guarantee you that. Yeah. Even if you don't like it, you'll eat it if you get hungry enough. They do have a lot of good things happen, Mac, on Facebook Marketplace. You can find stuff sometimes. Now, on our Facebook Marketplace here, usually when we look and see stuff on our Facebook Marketplace, it is expensive, buddy. I tell you, you can about go to the stores and buy it for what you can find it on our Facebook Marketplace. I've moved and hardly remember where I live. Do you guys think a bank run and then bank holiday will be declared? I'm not sure I follow you on that, JK Company.
I guess so. Collapse or something up the bank.
I don't know. Yes, with that freeze in Brazil, the Brazil nuts too, everything that comes from there will probably go up in cost. Save money from Amazon on your first ever delivery. Food grade gallon buckets with locking lids for $4 a piece. That's great with the locking lids for $4, Happy Mac. What a good buy. Free prepped in some of those, Purring Lady, for Facebook groups. There is. I forgot about that. Thanks for the reminder. Yep, rainwater will be a lot of people's salvation, I think. Rainwater can be used for bathing or flushing toilets or washing dishes or washing clothes or just all kinds of things. If you've got purification pills, you can strain your water. Learn how to strain your water and get the, you can get the large stuff out of it, leaves, sticks, all that stuff out of it the first time, and then strain it again to get the sediment. Let the sediment, go to the bottom, and then strain it again with a coffee filter or something. Use those purification pills. There's a way that you can do this with pure Clorox bleach. There's ways to purify water. Look that up. You've still got time to learn it. Look it up. And you can still get those water purification pills. You can get water filters to drink water with. Any of that kind of stuff. If you're going to have a struggle finding water or keeping water handy, you need to figure out how to get it. You've got to have the water. There's just no other way around it. And Espresso 100, good to see you. Hello, Hannah Lane. It's good to see you.
Happy Mac said she just got food grade 7-gallon buckets with
Yeah,
locking lids for $4.
With the lid for $4. Ain't that something? Amazing.
And you find the lids around.
Yeah, we can't even hardly find lids for buckets. Kelly, yes, Kelly, absolutely. When you take money out of the bank to put back your spending money, make sure you have small denominations, ones, fives, and tens. Because when you go to buy stuff, if there is a grid down, they will not be able to give you change, possibly, for your money. So be sure you've got small bills, huh?
She said what she was talking about. Basically, JK Company.
Basically means banks closing their doors one day and people not being able to withdraw their money. Folks in Lebanon have not been able to withdraw. But yes, absolutely, I do foresee that happening. That happened during the Great Depression. People couldn't get their money. And
only one day?
I would, no, not just for a day.
She said
banks closing their doors one day and people not being able to get withdraw their money. Yeah, just close up one day and be gone. Yeah, buddy. Can't find gamma lids around here. We don't have gamma lids in our area. We don't leave it in the bank. I don't trust them. We don't have a whole lot to leave anyway. But what little bit we do get in, we don't leave it there. We leave enough to pay. We've got a couple of bills that we do pay through the bank, and that's all we do. We'll leave the money in there to cover those bills, and the rest of it comes out. Well, no, let me rephrase that. We leave enough in there to cover those bills, and we do leave a small portion in there in case we're out somewhere and we have an emergency or we find something that we feel like that we should purchase. So that if we have to use our bank card, we can do that. We do leave a small nest money in there for that, but it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. Be sure of the contract of your bank account. Some folks have got notification of changes where they are no longer just account holders, but since they get interest, they are investors. Well, John with Prepper Nation is in urgent care with his daughter. She's sick and being tested for the seat. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. 1647 for the lifestyle at Wally World. That's about what they are here, Donna. They're around $17 at Wally World. If you're an investor, your account is no longer insured. How about that? No wonder they change you from a depositor to an investor.
Investor.
Yeah. So then when they close their doors, they don't have to insure your money. It's no longer FDIC insured. It's just gone. Yes, John runs Prepper Nation. We've listened to him a few times. We hate to see anybody sick with anything.
They say he was sick.
Said his daughter's in the hospital. They think she might have the cocoa. Yes, Donna, if the economy collapses here, it's just like in the Great Depression. If the economy collapses, then the banks will collapse with it. And, people made a run on the banks in the Great Depression, but they were only able to give out so much money because any given bank at any given time only has so much cash inside its building. Okay. And when they give out that cash, if there was, like right now today, if there was an economic collapse today and you went to town tomorrow to get your money, there would be, depending on the size of the city you live in, let's give an example in the city we live in. If we went to town tomorrow, if there was an economic collapse and we went to town tomorrow to get our money from the bank, well, there would be 10,000 people up there packed in that parking lot around all these banks trying to get their money. And when the money that was inside that building run out, then that would be it. And if there was 8,000 people left that didn't get their money out of the bank, they'd just be without their money. That'd just be how it worked. And you just wouldn't have any money.
Kelly said she was just joining in. What was it saying? What was it saying about lockdowns?
So what now?
You're just joining in. What did you say about lockdowns?
Well, I think that with what's going on in France and Italy and Australia, our foreign neighbors there, and man, listen, we need to pray for these people. We need to love them. We need to be lifting them up to the Lord in prayer, that they would look to the Lord for their help. But with everything that's going on there, all the lockdowns that's already happened there, but the restrictions are just so hard on those people over there, and the law and the military is just monitoring them and mistreating them, actually. And then we have our White House with everything they're talking now, everything that's coming out of the Oval Office and everything's coming out of the White House, all this talk that they're talking. We're heading for one, I think. I think we're heading for a lockdown, probably this fall, maybe late fall, maybe early fall. I don't know. But I think it's going to be a tough one. I just do. I think we really, really need to be getting our stuff together. If you don't have your act together, you need to get it together. This is not something to play with or toy with. This is a very serious thing. This is a life and death thing to many people. You will see many people die through this. People that's not ready are going to suffer. Food saver. Yes, Brenda, we vacuum seal a lot of foods here. We vacuum all of our flour. We vacuum seal all of our meal, all of our beans, all of our rice, pastas, that kind of stuff is being vacuum sealed and put away. Yes, if you don't hold it in you, you're right, Donna. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. If it's in a bank, you may think you own it, but if that bank goes bankrupt, closes down, you don't have it. It's not yours anymore. It's not. None of this stuff's insured in a economic collapse. It's just not. I can't say that too much. That this stuff is just gone when that happens. You don't have nothing. If all your possessions is in a bank, and you've only taken out $10 a week to get by on, and you put everything else you've got in a bank, and you don't have anything outside of it, and there's an economic collapse, then you're going to be broke. You just are. That's just how it works. Yep. No FDIC. When you're an investor, they just close the doors and take your money. That's just how it is. You're just left holding an empty bag. Sandy. Why me said a while ago that you can take the clay pots, take like a large clay pot and a smaller clay pot, bury it in dirt, put sand in between the two of them, keep the sand wet, and it serves as a refrigeration. It keeps the stuff inside the small pot cold. How about that? That's something we need to consider. I tell Sandy these things because she's got a much better memory than I do. And bartering, yeah. Huh?
She said hi, Clifford Payne.
Hello, Clifford Payne. I missed you somewhere.
Little Creek, Virginia here. Little Creek.
Little Creek, Virginia. Good to have you, neighbor. And there's Lisasuz. Lisa says, it's good to see you. Soul Prepper, good to see you. I hope I've not missed anybody. Yeah, I miss people sometimes when I'm talking or reading these.
I think your feed is.
If the banks collapse, that means I don't owe my mortgage anymore. Not necessarily. The mortgages you owe, because right now most of the mortgage, We hope not. Yeah, we hope not. You know, a lot of mortgages though have been bought up by the Federal Reserve, and they own a lot of mortgages right now. Yeah, and this Blackstone, is that the name of it? There's rumor that they've bought up mortgages. There's just a lot of stuff going on that's not good, folks. I tell you. I don't know, Brenda. I hope they don't succeed, but we'll see. We raised, Sandy and I was talking about this the other day. We've raised 2 generations of people behind us that have been taught to obey. Now, that's what they've been taught, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. We're going to have to deal with at least 2 generations of obedient people. People that have not been taught to be free-thinking people and to think for themselves and stand on their own 2 feet, but they've been taught to obey and shut up and do what they're told. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. Yeah. Solar charger for your USB devices is a good idea. It is Jesus Life Ministry.
It says stores are getting short on some things, and government is mandating vaccines for kids to go back to school.
Yeah, you know, some of the colleges and places like that, they're telling students that if they don't get the jab, that they can't come back to school. And a lot of these kids have already borrowed, you know, tens of thousands of dollars to go to school. So they kind of put them over a barrel.
Some people we know
and a lot
on Facebook,
some of them's not going. They're just
they only
cutting their losses and quitting.
Going into nursing and going into their clinicals or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They quit.
We've read after some people that were getting ready to go into their clinicals, do their clinicals, nursing, and they quit. They just quit hands down because they told them they had to take the jab to be able to do their clinicals, and they said, well, sorry, we don't do that. And they took a loss on everything they've done with it. They're not going to do it. And, you know, I say this, and I hope that I don't offend anybody by saying this, but this is just how life is, and this is how people should be. If you say that you're not going to do this thing, and that you have convictions and principles, and you're not going to do this thing, then stick to your principles. Don't be a flip-flopper. Stick to your principles. That's what this woman did. She had spent tens of thousands of dollars, no doubt, to get to where she was at, to take her clinicals, to become a registered nurse. And she quit because they tried to force her to do things that she didn't think or didn't believe and didn't want to do. They went against her principles. And because of that, she stood on her principles. And I admire her for that. That's one of the biggest things that I see in America today is that people have no principles. They say one thing, and just as soon as something hard happens, they quit. They do something else. That's why this whole country is in one of the messes that it's in right now, is that people won't stand on their own 2 feet and do what they say they'll do. And hit that like button. Slam that like button. We're at 101 likes and 103 people on, so we need 2 more likes. Slam that like button. Oh, thank you, Paulette. You keep reminding me. I keep forgetting. Let's see. James. Where'd I miss a James? James Carroll. Hello, James Carroll. It's good to see you. That's another thing you're going to have to deal with, guys, I tell you. And you need to think about how you're going to do it. Many of you have got kids that listen to you, and they've been preparing for this thing. And there's many of you that's going to have kids that pay you no attention, and they think you're just an old, crazy, old person. And when this goes down, they're going to be on your door with their kids, possibly their grandkids, knocking on your door. Something you need to think about. Are you going to feed them? If you are, you need to put back extra. If you're not, you need to make that clear to them ahead of time.
I'd say put back extra.
Put back all you can.
I mean, I'd put back extra.
Well, sure. Put back all you can. You need to help all your family you can, but guys, listen, you know it. Sometimes people just got to do what they got to do. Thank you, Kat. We appreciate you stopping in tonight. Low end pressure canned ground beef yesterday, going to sausage tomorrow. Hammer down.
Brenda said, I'm a working nurse. I voluntarily took the vaccination in January, but I believe as Americans, it's our choice to take it or not to take it.
Yes, I agree 100% with you. I think we should have that right.
That was Brenda H.
Yes. I am a retired veteran and had to explain that the numbers on GPS are called grid coordinates. So they know where you're at. Grid coordinates. They know how many people's in each grid. Separated by grids. Linda, I bet it will turn out fine, the canned ground beef. Clifford said his oldest daughter's a nurse. She's been mandated to take the jab or lose her job. There's going to be many, many, many people put in that position. They already have been, Clifford. Yeah, in these hospitals. Listened to a fellow talk last week. He was in, where was we reading that or listening to that these people was talking about their hospitals was state run. And that the doctors all work for the state, basically, and that they were some of the worst hospitals in the world. That they didn't have sufficient. You know, when the federal government starts running all this stuff, you're going to end up with third world hospitals, third world care. It's just going to be like that. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, Lisa Suze. They're threatening to cut federal funds for places like nursing homes and care facilities if the facilities don't make employees get the shot. So there you go. If you're under the federal government and they're giving you money for anything, they'll mandate and tell you what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, or they'll cut you off. Yeah. Let's see. I'm sitting here this same boat. Not sure how I will make it with being a single mom with 2 kids, work 2 jobs. Bless your heart, Kelly. Well, I'm not either, soul prepper. My wife and I are not either. And you know, Brenda, you said you're a working nurse and you voluntarily took the jab back in January. And again, that's your business. That's your privilege to do that. I don't like you or dislike you because you did that. And I'm with you. I think everybody should have that opportunity if they choose to, or not, if they choose not to. So, yeah. I don't trust it personally. So, we're not going to do it. Our Walmart had jars today and I didn't buy them. We've got several put back. After I left, I thought, well, I probably should have picked up another flat or 2 of them.
You did the lids. So.
Yeah. They had lids. I picked up about 8 packs of lids. Yeah, Glenn, people think you're crazy. Talking about a booster in less than 6 months. Listen, there'll be that booster, and then next year there'll be another one. And there may be 2 next year. And then there'll be another one. And then the big PFISER made 18.98 billion. That's with a B, $billion in the second quarter from these jabs. Do you think they're going to stop allowing people to take them? Do you think they're going to stop pushing people to take them? And then they also make the medications that if you have heart problems from these things that people's already having, if you have blood clots from these things that people are already having, they make the medication to sell to treat you for that. The same people that make the jab. How can they go wrong? You know, that's just... Rebel Canners, I've heard of them. They're supposed to be a good group. Brenda says we have rationed health care just as a veteran. Yeah, good night, Glenn. We hope you have a good evening. I've been called a hoarder for canning so much food that their days are coming. Carol, I did a video about that too, about is prepping biblical, and in that I talk about a person that mentioned hoarding food, and it's people don't understand. What people don't understand is that our parents, our grandparents, my grandmother and grandfather, and their parents were all preppers. Now, they didn't know they were preppers, and they weren't called preppers, but they were preppers. They got out in the spring, and they tilled up all their fields, and they got them ready to plant. And they got their seeds out as soon as possible. And they canned everything they grew that they could possibly can and put back in their cellars. Why did they do that? They were prepping for the winter. Just like when I was a young kid growing up, we raised chickens, we raised hogs, we grew a huge garden. We extended our garden as I was into my teenage years to twice the size it was. And my mother canned and canned and canned and canned. And every fall, we killed hogs every fall. And we put that meat back in the smokehouse. And my dad salted that meat down. And that did us through the winter. It did us all winter long and all spring. The meat off of those hogs, we killed 2 hogs every year. And man, that was prepping. Wasn't hoarding, it was prepping. All right, let's see here. We got a super chat. Kelly, thank you very much. Listen, we're just who we are, Kelly, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you for that super chat. And we're so glad that you've become a part of our channel and part of our family here. But I look at these folks here. I look at you all like a big family, a big extended family. I just have a lot of love in my heart for our channel here, the people that's on here. Vert Amby, gird up your health. Milk thistle for liver cleanse, lots of lemons and cruciferous veggies, flaxseed, not ground, raw whole seed that you grind at home and keep refrigerated, and vitamins. We did a video a couple of days ago about the vitamins, how that the FDA is now going to be regulating vitamins and how that's going to affect your ability to buy vitamins in the near future. So be sure and watch that video. Guys, if you haven't watched some of these previous videos we've done, We've talked about some of these things. The FDC is going to start, the FDA, not FDC, FDA, Food and Drug Administration. They're going to start regulating vitamins. This new bill that's coming out, this new stimulus bill, there is a bill in that to put the FDA in charge of regulating vitamins. That is going to put a huge crimp on vitamins if that goes through. I don't see any reason why it won't go through, because that's what they want to do. That's how they do these bills. They have these big stimuluses like this, and they put all these little bills in it, and nobody knows about it, and they just go right on through. And that goes back to the politics of it all.
James,
underhanded, all of them. Huh?
James Carroll says, I tell friends when SHTF happens, don't come here because I don't have the money or time to prep for you.
Yeah, I agree, James. But when you talk to people and talk to people and talk to people and talk to people, and you just keep telling them and keep telling them and keep telling them, and they just keep ignoring you, you know. I agree, Vent. That's the most important thing we'll do, is keep our relationship with the Lord in good, strong relationship. Used to not having 3 meals. We all need to get down to a meal or 2 a day. I agree with that, Kelly. That's a great advice there. We have some other people on our channel that say they're doing that also, that they've been fasting and cutting back to 1 and 2 meals a day.
We can just do that.
And we just got another super chat, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. We appreciate that super chat. God bless you. Have a blessed evening and good night. Well, good night to you too, my friend. And you have a blessed evening as well. Kathy says, I always say follow the money. If you do, you're gonna see all the politicians in Washington, D.C. as what they are. Thieves and very evil people. Preppers versus hoarders, yeah. Victory Gardens. Grow your gardens, guys. Grow all you can in your gardens. Our garden struggled this year. It wasn't near as good as we was hoping it would be. But we're still eating tomatoes out of it. Probably got the last of our cucumbers today, and they didn't do well at all. Our cucumbers were pitiful this year. Pitiful.
Actually, they done better this year than they did last
year. Yeah, but they were still pitiful last year. We probably didn't get 2 cucumbers. This year we got 10. Oh, it's pitiful. I just tell you. And our green peppers had just started here just the last couple of weeks, doing anything. We'd only got one or 2 peppers off of them all year till just now. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful they're doing something, they're still very lush and green and dark green. And
Linda said she stocked up on all her supplements after you talked about it.
Great. I'm glad to hear that, Linda.
So did Debbie. She got vitamin D, C, and zinc.
Yes. And what was that other? Selenium? Selenium. We listened to a medical doctor talk about that. There's a gnat here that's absolutely just about to worry me.
You'll be showing some of that.
Yeah, we'll be showing some of this stuff in an upcoming video, probably tomorrow evening. I'm going to do a video tomorrow on some of the stuff that we were able to find and pick up today in a trip we made to Walmart. We went out of town today, and we found some stuff that we couldn't get in our local Walmart, and we're going to go ahead and probably do a video on that tomorrow and upload it tomorrow evening, so be watching for that. We'll be talking about some of the things we purchased and why we purchased them. Donna said I couldn't have done it without God and this channel inspiration. Well, thank you, Donna. We appreciate that. The Lord is wonderful. Some crazy rain events in Florida. The lightning is really wild too. Our weather this year has been odd too. It's just been real odd. I want to can some. Never canned ham before. Well, you can do it, Happy Mac. There's no doubt in my mind. Green tea extract. No headaches. Well, that sounds good. That might be a good thing for you to start learning to do. Green tea extract.
I bought that green. Oh, excellent.
Green tea extract, a vitamin.
Green tea.
Green tea. Yeah, not green tea. Green tea. Green tea extract. Yeah. Not green tree. Oh my goodness. Kelly says she finds peace and comfort in this channel, and I'm struggling, so it's good to give when you can. Well, buddy, thank you for that. We just appreciate that. We hope that you find peace and comfort here, because we want you to have peace and comfort here. But the greatest comfort we'll ever find is in our Lord Jesus Christ. That's where we find our peace. That's where our rest truly is. I use morning Alephra. Stop taking Emerald. I'm not sure what that is. Yes, building and planting your own medicinal herbs. Linda says stocked up on all supplements. Buddy, I'm glad to hear that. Yes. Basil and kale, super easy to grow, very nutritious. And green tree supplement. Huh? Oh, Donna saying something about the corn I put on there. I'll get down there in a second. Let's see here. Let me get down there and see what Donna's saying about my corn. I'll be talking about my corn. That's some fine corn.
Oh, just that.
Yes, I bought 2 berry trees. Good night, Paulette. Big in antioxidant. That's what she said. She said good night. That's what she said. She's not supposed to leave. It's not even night there yet. She's 2 hours behind us. Having it be night there.
I don't think she was saying that to us. She's still on.
Debbie says she got vitamin D, C, and zinc after your video. Plan to get more. Glad to hear that, Debbie. Thank you for watching.
She was telling Brenda good night.
Oh, she was telling Brenda good night. Okay. Let's see. Bert says matcha, M-A-T-C-H-A, green tea, premium grade, grown and harvested in Japan only, not China. Very healthy with countless benefits. We need to check that out. Matcha green tea for our vitamins. Matcha green tea, I guess. Premium grade, grown and harvested in Japan. And then we drop down to
Matcha,
M-A-T-C-H-A, matcha green tea. Donna says that corn video, Charles, scared the bejesus out of me. A fun guy for rain. You ought to seen me when I picked it off the stalk. And thought I'd got a hold of a monster.
We couldn't show it to Jeremy, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we showed it to our son, and he said, I don't think I'll ever eat corn again. And he's not ate any corn since that. So I don't know, guys.
I don't even look at it.
Bless his heart. But yeah, you're right, Donna. We did a little research on it. It is a fungus that's caused by water getting down in the corn silk, and in Mexico they eat that as a delicacy. Lots of people have ate that, and we had people comment on the channel that their family had tried it or ate it before and said that it was good, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I like mushrooms, but I just have a hard time after standing and looking at that thing and rubbing my thumb over it and stuff. I don't think I can eat it. Oh goodness.
Vitamin A, is that vitamin A for eye health?
I'm not sure, but now I know that vitamins last a long time. Now most vitamins will last 2 years. Now this is
For
what
eye health. Eye.
right. But
vitamin A.
I don't know if vitamin A is for your eye health or not, but I do know that vitamins last a long time, and they will last. Normally, they'll last up to 2 years after their expiration date. So keep that in mind. Now that's what I've read and been told. Boss Prepping, good to see you, boss. Thanks for stopping in. Won't be another lockdown. What we will see when the jab is approved end of August, early September, we will see jobs regulate back in schools and businesses, but will not be another lockdown. Well, I hope there's not, but I tend to disagree with you on that, and not trying to be argumentative by saying that. I just think that with everything we've seen in all of our neighboring countries around that's been going on, I think they'll use that as an opportunity here as well. I hope they don't. I hope you're right. C to avoid scurry. Happy Mac says no, they're brand new. Case of can, green stock planter, eye health, vitamin A for eye health. That's what Sandy was talking about there a minute ago. Those fruit flies were really bad this year. They're bad enough here this year. We've had them worse before, but they're still pretty bad. Thank you, Espresso 100. Enjoyed your Dollar Tree vid. England, they have no clue what that media doesn't represent America at all. I pointed out that from its inception, only 2 state cities were ever presented. My feed had jumped again and just went crazy.
Oh, that said you're still my white boy, Charles.
Oh, goodness.
Why me? It said eat that funky corn, white boy.
Yeah, yes, white boy had funky corn. That tickled me so much that time. That was that on YouTube or on that person called me said I was just a white boy and I was just repeating rhetoric. That was on YouTube. Yeah, and if I listen, now I'm not saying anything about race here. I don't care about your race stuff. If you want to get into racial foolishness, then you can get into it. I'm not into that. We're all created equal in the eyes of God, and we're all created in His image, and we're all just here, buddy. That's just who we are. Regardless of skin color, makes no difference. But yeah, I'm a white person, and my legs will blind you. So yeah.
Probably that emergency test is this month, coming up the 11th.
I think so.
Because
maybe the 11th of this month.
Happy Mac said what's up with some sort of emergency test in September. So it's,
boy, that's so good, Happy. I live for the Lord. All my peace comes by the grace of Him, because people make me nutty. Yeah. Now, what did she say about that?
The emergency test. She said in September, unless there was a different one.
Unless they've changed it. Yeah, they originally said August.
August 11th, I think.
Yeah, I think it was August 11th. Hello, David Potter. It's good to see you.
Pat says, is Trump coming back or not?
Pat asked that. Oh, that makes my head hurt.
He did. Well, she said Trump won all 50 states.
No, if he does, it's not going to make a big difference in how the politics are run.
We hear that we've
heard
it before.
And here's the reason why. When Trump was in office, he didn't run things. Biden don't run things. When Obama was in office, he didn't run things. When Clinton was in office, he didn't run things. These people don't run things. There are people behind the scenes. There are elites behind the scenes and have been for years that run things. It really is that simple. And people won't believe it. People will fight you over it. They'll call you crazy over it. You're a crazy conspiracy theorist, and all this stuff. But they don't have this anymore. They meet. They have their meetings once a year. And you've got your Hollywood elitist, and you've got your Klaus Schwabs, and you've got your Bill Gates, and you've got your
we still listen to a guy.
All these people that just a select amount of people from around the world that meet. And if you've seen behind the scenes when these special, how do I say this? I don't want to get in trouble here. These special, I'd like to call them clans, but they're like special sororities meet.
She says she knows. She knows about all that.
When these special sororities meet, they all hold hands with each other. All these people are supposed to be enemies. You'll see them. If you do your research, you'll see them that they're all buddy-buddy when they get together with their special sorority members. They're just, it's pathetic how these people are. Get me started on that and I'll be on that. But hey, David, subscribe for the record. Had the cocoa and survived it. I'm off grid with my black cat, Talus. My son and his whole family had it. And he said it to him, it was like a cold. He said, just like a case of the cold, and that was it. Nobody ended up going to the hospital or nothing. They just took vitamin C and stuff and went right on, I reckon. Amy's got a lifetime of rice. Well, that's good. Happy Mac said you ate that funky corn, Charles. It's expensive at restaurants. I'm not eating it. Maybe I should have held on to it and sold it to the restaurants. Oh, goodness. Some Ginchoba for Charles. Now, what is that? Ginjlk. Jinkoba. Jinko. I don't know what that is. That must be that stuff on that corn. I can't remember what the name of it was. I looked it up, but I can't remember. Oh, goodness. 100 pounds of rice put back, a snack size portion. Well, as far as lockdowns until after the recall business is done, he's not going anywhere before Nancy's nephew. Maybe, JK. I don't know. You and Boss Prepper may be right. I just know that just kind of following the things that happened before. You know, what's happened in the past, just trying to follow that path. And I don't know.
Maybe that they might say going lockdown if people don't get their vaccines.
Use balsamic vinegar for killing fruit flies. Just put it in a bowl at night. Well, we need to do that. Tomato paste from Costco, same exact expiration date, several months apart. It reported tomato and aluminum can shortages. Same happened with powdered milk from a grocery store. They most certainly are bug out basics. They are puppets. Klaus Schwab, buddy. They all in this together. Powers and principalities. There you go, Bert. Powers and principalities. I don't know, JK, about that scheduling of the emergency broadcast thing because of Glendale. I don't know. Something about all the canned goods we're buying now were meant for last year. Most canned goods have soon approaching expiration dates on them. I've seen some expiration dates that were pretty short. Yeah, and you know we've talked about that in other videos that the supply chain and the corn crops and all this stuff that's failed. The rice crops around the world that's been flooded out millions of acres, and now Brazil with this stuff going on. We've had all kinds of shortages around the world, and then we continued even with our corn crop failure and our soy that was hit real hard. We continued to export our corn to other countries, and that just don't make any sense because we live on the surplus from last year. Every year we're living on last year's surplus, and when we get rid of our surplus, oh, that's going to hit hard home. Yep. All right. Brown rice does go rancid. Don't stock brown rice. Stock white rice. Let's see. Where am I at? I've got to catch up here real quick. And we're going to say good night to everybody and say thank everybody. Those of you that are still on, thank you for your super chats. For our moderators that are still on, Happy Mac and Paulette. I don't know if Cat Lady's still on or not, but if you are, thank you ladies for being our moderators. You do a wonderful job, and we love you all for it. We so appreciate you all. And I hope everybody else does too. And hello, Michelle. I missed you earlier. Good to see you. Huh?
And you want to avoid crowds, head to the Middle Eastern stores for large bags of rice.
Yeah, you don't want to advertise. You don't want to advertise what you're doing if you can keep from it. Do it as inconspicuous as possible. Yes. So good night, everybody. We love you guys. God bless you. We pray the Lord bless and keep you. We pray that you look to Jesus for your hope, for your salvation, and for your peace. Find your rest in Him, and continue to prep. Continue to prep, continue to prep, continue to prep. Every time you go to a store, I don't care. Every time you go to a store, pick up a prep of some kind. If it's just $1, pick it up. Everything you put back counts. So from here on out, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. And again, we pray the Lord bless and keep you and watch over you. We'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Good night, everybody.